there's a lot of different options still he can go for, or you could of course just try and go macro once again. Of course, the winner of this map will move on to a kind of series point, and we'll be just one map away from winning that series, so it becomes a little bit harder for the player who goes down 1-2 to come back. You've got to win 2 in a row, which is, you know, never easy, especially when these guys are all so good. It's so easy, one small mistake and boom, you've well, you're done for. So let's see how this goes right now as gas starts up for Armani. And Armani begins to move out here with an overload. So that last game, I mean, very much so, it was just a case of Armani. He got his third base tonight. So, you know, he fell behind, actually, against the early aggression. He just seemed to make a few too many lings and not force enough lings out of his opponent, or not punish his opponent enough when he counterattacked. So, Sacsri got ahead on drones early, and, you know, he then actually just kept on denying the third base for Armani. You know, that nice move at the end, Armani killing a lot of workers, kind of brought him back into it. But you just lost a few too many mutalisks to be able to do, you know, because then when you lose that many mutalisks, you just cannot take a fight against your opponent's mirrors. And if you can't take a fight against your opponent's mirrors, he has complete map control. He can go wherever, and, you know, if they're on 30 mutalisks, we saw he just kills a spore crawler like that. Boom, spore crawler dead, you know. So, yeah, we've got a drone moving down to the low ground here for Sacsri. Just going to start mining away with that. An interesting start here from Sacsri. He's okay, so he's actually just taking gas a little bit later. Sorry, so I thought he'd already mined 100 gas, and I thought he was just not starting link speed, but he's just a little bit slower on that. Baneliness is going to come down this time from Armani, and well, I mean, it looks like he waited very well. Try and be aggressive. He's still droning though. He's going to go up to about 29 workers, so he's not going to have any lings on the map when his Zerglin speed finishes. Yet he is still mining gas, so. There is, you know, so yeah, let's see what he wants to do. I mean, maybe it is some kind of aggression still, just we don't know what yet, really. So this Cryptuma at the front is on top of the ramp right now. We'll be able to push out a little bit further in a few moments. Bit unless coming up for Sacsri as well, and less straight away here for Armani, so this is why he's continuing to mine gas, so he can get into his lair very, very quickly. Not wasting any time at all with this. He's actually 5 workers ahead. Sacsri making a few drones now. We'll catch up on that. There's only going to be a couple of workers difference. There's neither player really doing all too much. Now, there's a lot of overloads out on the map for Sacsri, so with the most likely mutas coming in here very soon for Armani, he's probably going to be able to, because his mutas are going to be ever so slightly faster, he's probably going to be able to do a really nice job in cleaning up these overloads, and, you know, then he'll be able to kind of defend his own overloads with his mutas. While he pulls them back, so that could be something we'll have to keep an eye on. There's a couple of links across the map here, try and look to see what's happening, see what's up. And Zerglings get killed off without too much of an issue though. Bunch of links coming across here for Armani. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Bunch of links coming across here for Armani, and well, not too much going on. Both players just with a couple of Bane lanes here, and just some early link Bane wars. As before we get into kind of the Mulas stage of this game, a single Zerglin is not going to be able to grab these Bane lanes, neither is that one. And Sacsri does start his have his third base started here. Armani a little bit faster with that. He's going to counterattack here, and he will be able to force a cancel on this. Although there's one Bane lane, okay, it goes off on absolutely nothing really. And the counterattack here from Sacsri actually heads in towards the main base, which is interesting. So I mean, these lings are more or less forfeit. He's going to peel a few lings away and try and morph in a couple of Banes to hide them. Try and get some damage done with that. He might be able to pick himself off a Queen. Okay, not quite, as Banelings grab a few lings on the low ground. As this Queen might still very well go down, and it looks as though it will. So this Queen goes down. A couple of Banelings are about to finish morphing in. So Sacsri didn't, Armani didn't see these morphing in. He's now perhaps going to, oh no, the lings block. Ah, but he still doesn't really realize that he loses a lot of lings there. but it's okay. His 7 meters are on the way. No pullback still from Sacsri on the overlords, so he's got a lot of overlords out on the map, and more still going out on the map, which could definitely go down. These things are going to start doing some damage to this third base, the third base which is finished compared to Sacsri's, which is only just on the way right now. And now these things are going to start moving away, and these Mutalisks going to keep on. Well, some Zerglings coming in here. Ooh, Baneling moving forwards was nearly able to catch them off, but not quite. Okay, so Zerglings probably going to come back in here, and these mutants for Sacsri just sitting over the hatchery. Things are sitting on the ramp, and looks as though both players are going to be up to their 3 hatcheries. Without too much of an issue here. Armani's actually in a pretty big advantage in terms of the Mutalisk game, though. He's got Fly Carapace level 1, it's almost completed, whereas Sacsri only just starting with his. So that's going to be a big upgrade on the Mutalisks for Armani, which he's going to have for a long while, where Sacsri doesn't, and it's going to open up multiple timings throughout the timing windows throughout the game, where he's going to be a little bit more, you know, he's going to be able to take fights where Sacsri can't, and that's going to allow him to take a lot more map control, allow him to kind of take positions on the map and kind of control where he wants to be. As both players are still fairly even in this game. It's actually Armani on the worker lead this time around. He's going to be able to pick off a Zergling there. And these muters are going to come in and try and get that Baneling, it seems, grabs that. And he's actually going to take the Mutalisk fight. He does have that +1 Carapace. Looks as though he doesn't feel as though he's got the mutant numbers, though. And you know, again, there's a Queen underneath as well. So probably the better choice, or probably the correct choice, to kind of back away from that. And Armani going to loop around a couple of times and now head up to this upper right side and see if he can get any damage done on the natural expansion here. Zergling's going to take down that one Zergling there, get any position to try and come in towards this third, as the mutants come in towards that third base, but sorry, the natural. But they get deflected pretty quickly, as the Zergling war is going to start happening on the third base of Sacsri, and Sacsri is losing this. I think maybe he's actually got a few more on the bottom side. Okay, he's just about going to turn this away. It's pretty close, pretty even numbers overall. And falling back now, Armani has +1 flyer attacks on the way and didn't decide to go into +2 Carapace, which I do believe is actually the better choice in the long run, +2 Carapace. So kind of interesting to see that. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. These meters just stacking up right now, and again, just waiting for a few more reinforcements, and we'll move across the map, I guess, with this +1 to try and see if they can get any more damage done. So the second game of this series, which has gone to Mutalisk versus Mutalisk, of course, that first game ended very early on. Armani just sitting here with these muters. Bunch of Lings going to come in again, shutting down a Zergling, trying to scout across the map for Sacsri. So Sacsri not really getting too much information. Picks off a Zergling there as well with his own Mutalisks, and Armani. Well, the Mutalisk counts at 30 against 30, so again it's an upgrade advantage for Armani, and of course they will come down to closer reinforcements as well as having Lings underneath to tank a few of the AoE shots. Armani's back. Sacsri's backing off. I think he realizes he can't really take this fight here. Shot on the overlords there, and well, he turns around. They're both going to go in for this here. So again, it's going to be an upgrade advantage, a pretty big one for Armani going into this fight. But are the shorter reinforcements going to be enough for Sacsri? He's also bringing a couple of queens over to try and help out. There's no transfuses, just that extra DPS, but you can just see the difference that +1 has made here. He's going to kill off every single Mutalisk, no problem. GG Armani.